You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith Johnson.
From the AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AFTERBUZZ TV's Rookie Blue After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's Rookie Blue After Show.
Yes! We're back!
Love it.
Love it. It must be summertime because Rookie Blue is back on TV in America, and we're happy about it.
And back in our lives.
And back in our lives. Welcome to the AFTERBUZZ TV After Show for Rookie Blue, Season 5, Episodes 1 and 2, because we got a big 2-hour premiere tonight, which was nice.
Awesome.
Yeah, it was amazing.
We waited a whole year. Well, maybe. Well, the last episode was in September, but it felt like a full year.
It felt like 2 years.
I mean, it's definitely overdue.
Yeah. I am Tiona Hobson, and joining me, I have my partner in red.
Hello, everyone. Marisa Serafini.
Welcome back, Marisa.
Welcome back, Tiona.
Thank you. We have our red and blue going on again. We're very happy about this.
Yeah.
And
just like last season.
Just like... Oh my gosh! Yay! Steven, our engineer.
Turn down for what? Yeah! Yeah!
This is how we started.
This is how we started.
This is how we started.
Thank you to our awesome
Steven.
engineer Steven for bringing us out some champagne, some champs.
Clink it.
And we're going to toast
to
that.
you guys.
That's good.
Prosecco. Really good.
Really good. All right, well, let's get into this really good episode. We're going to start with episode 1. Oh my God. Is all I can say. Oh my God.
I'm so glad they picked up exactly where we left off because it was a cliffhanger episode in season 4 finale, and then I'm glad that they didn't go like a day later and we're like, what happened? It was right in the middle of the action.
Or like fast forward 3 months to be like, okay, you know, Sam's in recovery and Chloe's doing this.
Like that happened.
Yeah, no, we are right here. It's the same night and everyone is losing their minds. So recap, Sam's been shot. Shaw's been shot. Chloe's been shot. There was that
Kevin Ford.
came through and was just shooting cops left and right, picking them off like they were sardines. I don't know if you pick sardines or not, but I'm gonna go with it.
You can.
We have Andy told Swarrick in the ambulance that she loved him.
Yep.
But she's dating Nick.
Yeah, and poor Nick.
This
Episode.
Oh my gosh.
I feel for him. But at least Andy, not to jump too far ahead, we'll get into it obviously, but at least Andy did feel bad and was honest about it.
Yeah.
Up front
And honest. I still am holding out for Andy and Nick.
I know, I love them two together.
Okay, she can do this. So let's talk about Andy and Dove. They're both waiting. Dove is sitting there because, you know, he finds out that Chloe's married. Her husband has shown up, Wes, that jerk.
Yeah, I was gonna think of another name, but jerk is fine.
I was trying to keep it PG.
That's
maybe.
Good. You're better than I am.
Yeah, he shows up and is like, I'm her husband. She has a blood clot that he's like, don't remove because I'm her husband and I get to make these choices. And
I was like, who are you? Because we saw him last season. We're like, who are you to just come out of the blue and make all these choices and be all possessive and be like, where the heck were you to, you know, even have the right to choose over her life?
Exactly.
Life decisions.
So to kind of clear their heads a little bit, the captain sends them off to the diner down the road. Like, go grab some food, come back in 20 minutes. If anything changes, I'll call you.
Yeah, because they were only up for 22 hours.
Yeah, I mean 22, that's nothing.
That is nothing.
I mean, call me when you're at 48.
Seriously.
Don't, because...
No, but they're cops. I'm sure they had a really busy work day, and so...
Yeah.
I'm sure they deal with a lot more stuff than the normal person would in an average 24-hour time period.
And especially that day. It had been a rough one. So at the diner, you know, Dove kind of sees some sketchy-looking people at the booth. They thought they were high because of what they were ordering, and they weren't eating the food.
But in fairness, it was 4 a.m. So
Yeah.
who's to judge anyone in the orders that they're?
I was like,
the
I'd have
food
that
they
order if
want?
I was just drunk right now.
I
Or
mean-
maybe if I was sober and just really hungry at 4 a.m.
I mean, it's a diner. Eat whatever you want.
Eat whatever you want. Order pancakes and chicken strips and a side of ranch.
That
That's
sounds
fine.
amazing.
I know. I just made myself hungry.
Maybe we should go after this.
Yeah, we're going to that diner. Turns out they were there to rob the place.
Yeah.
And
Honestly, I wasn't sure how that was going to go. I'm like, they're just sketchy people. What's going to happen?
Mm-hmm.
But it was such a random robbery, I thought.
it was because
4
of
a.m.
all the places to go rob, guys, if we're going to case the joint, like actually case the joint first to know how, you know, they get their money system planned out, because this guy only opens the safe once a night at the end of the day. That's the only time the safe will open. So you're not going to get anything if you go in there an hour before it's time. So number one, know how the money works. Number two, don't pick a diner on a slow night.
No.
That was just a stupid place to go thinking they were going to get a ton of money.
Well, it shows that they didn't really think about anything, that they were inexperienced, and maybe they just wanted to start a new life for them. But this was probably one of the first robberies they ever tried to commit.
I mean, just amateurs.
Amateurs, rookies.
Rookies, exactly. Of course, Dove and Andy are trying to, you know, keep it under wraps that they're cops because they don't want this to take
in uniform.
Yeah, they're not in uniform. They're off duty technically, so they're trying to, you know, they hand over their watches, their cell phones, their wallets, all that stuff. Easy peasy. And then you have the pregnant lady who's
Wants a milkshake.
wants a milkshake.
I mean, don't deny a pregnant lady and her milkshakes.
no, I mean, don't mess with pregnant people.
No.
One thing I've learned in life.
If they're craving anything, don't mess with them.
Just let them have it.
Give it to them, back away.
Yeah, but the owner kind of tries to sneak a message to her
On a
which gets him
receipt.
on a receipt, which I mean,
I think anyone would try to.
yeah,
But it's just surprising with the amount of there were maybe 6 people in that diner.
Yeah.
Not one of them could grab a cell phone. I mean, fortunately never been in a hostage situation, but the way that they couldn't do anything was kind of surprising. Like, they're not really paying attention to anyone.
yeah,
I'm sure someone could probably, like, alarm, you know.
trick alarm or something.
Yeah, you're one of those silent alarms, get someone.
Yeah.
Some help.
Or, you know, maybe like look the lady in her eye and be like, sorry, ma'am, you can't come in, like hard winking
the
at her.
twitch.
You know, she'd be like, what's wrong with you? Why are you blinking at me? I mean, that would have blown it. But, you know, clearly the robbers don't appreciate him trying to sneak off a message.
I don't
and
even think we got the robbers' names. It was just a girl and
the
guy.
guy's name, I thought I wrote it down. Nope, I didn't.
Nope.
But she kept saying his name, but he
Okay.
didn't really use her name, which I thought was really dumb on her part. First of all, like, clearly they can identify you, and now you're giving them a first name to go off of. Like, it's just really going to be
But it
easy.
really, unfortunately, didn't matter for the
Didn't-
guy.
Yeah, because, I mean, you have the waitress who finally gets her moment to grab that shotgun.
Shotgun.
I was like, wait, we've had a
Whoa.
shotgun this whole time?
What?
You guys have been
Where did that
sitting
come
here
from?
Forever, and there was a shotgun behind the register that no one was like, hey, let me get over to that a little quicker.
Yeah,
And she just blasts him, like, doesn't even
totally.
doesn't
No
even give him
warning, just like, hey, I got
Yeah.
my gun and I'm gonna shoot you.
like, in that situation, as someone who, like, has, I mean, I fired a gun for the first time, like, a couple weeks ago, like, a shooting range. But, like, as someone who doesn't shoot guns, if I was holding that gun at someone, I'm not sure I would be able to pull the trigger. It would have been, like, shaky, like, hey, like,
Yeah.
put your weapon down.
You would have some hesitation.
Yeah.
My thing was like she really just fired that thing.
Boom.
No warning whatsoever, because he was waving around his pistol, but she just shot him point
just-
blank.
Boom. And
That was unexpected.
Yeah,
I
and
thought
she
she was
hit the
at least gonna
target.
like warn him or something and like calm him down, talk him out of it. That did not happen.
yeah, that did not happen. And let's be honest, you can't hit a target your first shot. So she was clearly trained in something, because
Maybe she's had experience.
yeah, she's had experience shooting that gun before, because it's very hard to hit a target, I learned. So,
But the way he died though, that poor.
I mean,
that was unfortunate.
yeah, because you
Because-
realize that he's just a kid.
Yeah, and he was timid throughout the whole thing. He was not this sort of aggressive person in that, relationship. It was the woman who was yelling at everyone. She was the one that was enacting, and she was the alpha female in that whole situation. And you can tell he was hesitant throughout the whole thing. He didn't want to go through with it, and he's the one that got the short end of the stick.
And he was just like, tell my mom I love her.
Ugh.
And it's clear that, he didn't have a good relationship with her because, like, that was part of the reason why they were robbing the place, so that they could have money to go away and do things on their own. And I just felt so bad for him in the end. Her, not so much. I hope she rots in jail.
Well, she'll definitely get justice, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. And then this whole time that this is going on, you have Chloe, who is awake, has already sent Wes away, and is calling
for Dove,
like leaving him message after message, like, why aren't you calling me back? What's a girl got to do to get some attention over here?
Yeah,
and you have good old Shaw trying to keep her company and helping her leave messages, and that was a very cute moment to show their relationship a little bit more. I love Shaw.
It was. I mean, and Shaw's the perfect guy to be that anyone's friend, and especially in that situation where Chloe, you can tell she was getting really concerned, and maybe questioning her decision to go with Dove instead of Wes.
Yeah, I think she thought Dove was really mad at her about not.
Yeah, and also it is 4 a.m. Maybe he could have been sleeping, but we know that he was stuck in a hostage situation.
In a hostage situation. And by the time he gets there, she's in cardiac arrest.
Coding. That's never good.
Yeah, I'm like biting my teeth like, oh my gosh, did they really let her come on the first episode just to kill her off?
I know. I thought the exact same thing. I'm like, they can't kill Chloe. Not in the premiere. We love her. She's an amazing character. And then I had like flashbacks to other TV shows like Grey's Anatomy and ER.
Yeah.
Like, they're known for killing people off in like premieres, not the finales, in premieres. I'm like, what if they did kill Chloe? That would have sucked.
Yeah, I was like, look, there's 3 of them in the hospital right now. One of them might not make it. It's probably going to be Chloe right now. And
she's the most critical.
Yeah, and I was like, oh my God, what's going to happen? What's going to happen?
Like, we were both holding our breaths throughout that whole scene.
Yeah, I'm like screaming at the TV. But luckily she pulls through and she is safe and sound, and Dove is there for her, and they're happy.
Love it.
I love it. I love those two.
That was such a sweet moment. She also said, like, you're the one that I want to be with. Just definitely, defining that relationship.
Yeah, definitely defining it. Who else should Nick is... Everyone's looking for Nick.
Yeah, because he's the one that shot Kevin Ford.
Yeah.
So you're going to have to question him.
Yeah.
Get a statement.
They need a statement from him about, everything that happened. I don't really like the inspector guy.
Yeah, and Jarvis. New guy.
Not a fan
Question mark, questionable guy.
Yeah, because especially just by the end, how he was, like, putting the blame on the precinct.
Yeah, like the 2 different ways you can look at the situation. The negative way that makes you look bad, or the positive way that still kind of makes you look bad.
Yeah. And anyways, I don't like him.
I have a prediction about him.
Yeah. Well, he is like screaming at everyone to find Nick. Nick, meanwhile, is ignoring phone calls, and he's in the car, and kind of like, where's he going? What's he doing? Turns out he went to go get Sam's sister.
Yeah.
Sam has a
sister.
family. Yeah.
Which is funny because did we ever really think about Sam's family? We know he's kind of a lone wolf, and we didn't really think of Sam's background.
No.
At least I haven't.
I hadn't either. I mean, I figured that, I guess I assumed he was an only child and his parents were dead.
Yeah, or he's just estranged from his parents, at least. Would not even have thought he had siblings.
Yeah, and his sister says something very interesting. She keeps saying that, their family is messed up, and what does, Nick even think she can do for him? But the only reason she's going is because she thinks her brother might die.
Yeah.
And I guess she doesn't want him to be alone.
And also, because Sam's also in the hospital, and he needs his next to kin to make any decisions over him. So we're like, hey, we have to get Sam's family in order to, like, go through these operations.
Yeah. And finally, he brings her there. Sam's fine. Sam's going to be okay. And then this is when Nick and Andy have to have their little talk in the hospital hallway before he goes to give his statement. And I was very proud of Andy for, you know, admitting that she did this. I mean, I guess she had already told Dove, so she had to tell Nick. But being honest and upfront, did you like Nick's reaction to it? I thought that was completely, you know, justified, that he would walk away and be like, you know what? All right, let it be. Like, I'll see you around.
Yeah, see you around.
To me, that I was just like, ooh,
is that a breakup?
Burn. I was like, so he didn't say, like, see you at work, see you tomorrow, we'll talk about this later. It was just, I'll see you around. That hurts. I mean, even if Andy is in love with Sam, which, I mean, I think that she started dating Nick very soon after, you know, their breakup. Andy and Sam will clearly always have some sort of a connection. And I think that when you're in love with someone, that there's always a part or like a piece of you that's with that person forever, whether or not you're actually supposed to continue to go back to that person, like, is by case. And personally, I would like to see Andy move on from Swarek and into Nick.
Yes, into Nick. I agree. I mean, I do like Swarek and Andy together, but I'm really enjoying Nick and Andy. I mean, they have amazing chemistry.
Yeah. I'm enjoying the person Andy is when she's with Nick.
Yeah, because Nick is a great guy, too. And we know Sam has baggage. I mean, not to say that's, you know, a deal breaker, but Nick is a great guy. He's a safe choice. And I think that's what Andy needs in her life.
And let's think about this. You practically ruined your friendship with Gail.
Yeah.
To date her ex-boyfriend. And then for it
twice.
Yeah, and for it to not even work out between you two, like, for you to just be like, actually, I'm still, like, if you're going to break up a friendship over a guy, you have to be 100% sure that you're over the other guy before you get involved with him.
Absolutely.
And I just think that Andy acted too fast.
But she did admit she was caught up in the moment. All those emotions came back to her. I don't blame her, because she does truly love Sam. And that her real feelings came out. But I think, again, it was in the moment.
I think it was very much in the moment. And I don't think that it's the end of Nick and Andy. Or at least Nick fighting for Andy.
There's definitely going to be tension in the next few episodes. Who knows where it's going to lead to, though.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see. But, you know, Swarek tells Andy, you know, like, hey, I'm done. Like, I just almost died.
Yeah.
I kind of want to, you know, make this thing, like, for real.
All right.
Again.
Like, okay.
It's like, I'm sick of being sad. And she's like, me too. But you were just so happy with Nick, Andy. Make up your mind.
She's conflicted. She's an emotional, conflicted woman.
I get it. Whatever. We didn't really get to see a lot of Gail this episode, but
we saw enough.
But we saw enough of her. You know, she's
definitely a lesbian.
Definitely a lesbian. She left the hospital because she didn't think anyone wanted her around. She goes to her girlfriend's house, Holly, and while there, she goes in the bathroom and decides to give herself a nice little haircut.
I mean, when anything big happens in a woman's life, they have to change their hair in some shape or form.
All the girls on this show, Gail is the one who every season comes back with like something different about her hair.
And that's the cool thing about Gail, because we wouldn't really expect it from this kind of, on the outside, she seems like a cold woman. But on the inside, she's really big, you know, she's all gushy.
Yeah.
She's more soft than what she's letting on. And that's the nice, unexpected thing with her character, because you really don't know where she's going.
Yeah. And I thought it was nice that we got to see her open up to Holly. You know, we got to see Gail vulnerable. And not vulnerable in the way of, you know, like last season after, you know, she'd been kidnapped and all that stuff. Like, not like
season 3, but
not like scary vulnerable because, you know, like she might die, but vulnerable because of her friends and just real emotions, like with people who she actually cares about. And that's the first time we were really kind of seeing that, you know, oh, there is a heart. She does care about these guys, and they just don't know it.
A lot has actually happened to Gail, and she mentioned it with all the inches of her hair. You know, this is when Nick broke up with me. This is when he broke up with me twice, and then this is when I got kidnapped. And like all these things that would have her emotional conflict within her. You know, like get rid of it.
Yeah,
I like it. She looks sweet, and I love the line where she's like, "Nope, you're not getting rid of me." Like,
not so fast.
Yeah, not so fast. Like, no going back, girlfriend. He's like, yep, they're definitely girlfriends now.
And then the other major thing that we have to talk about from this episode, because this premiere episode was just full of everything. Tracy forgets to go pick up Dex. And Leo, sorry. Oh my gosh. Yeah, forgets to go pick up Leo from the babysitter, and it's now 4 o'clock in the morning. And first of all, the babysitter, did she just drop the kid in front of the precinct and drive off? Because I'm not leaving my child with her anymore.
Well, it seems like it. But we do know from past episodes that Tracy always had the struggle of balancing work and her child. And this was just another episode where she let work overcome that, and she forgot about Leo. Again.
In her defense, she did have a couple friends get shot.
Yeah, I mean,
the precinct was like shot.
It was a busy night.
Yeah, I feel like if the babysitter had just, turned on the local news, maybe she would have been like, you know what, Leo? I think mom's going to be a little tied up tonight because cops are being shot left and right. Yeah. Why don't you just, go to sleep on the couch and we'll get you home in the morning.
Yeah, and also, unfortunately, Leo's getting older, too, so he's more aware of the situation, and he is probably old enough to speak out that, hey, I'm getting annoyed now. Why do you keep forgetting me at the babysitters? Why do you keep neglecting to pick me up on time?
Yeah, and then this is when Dex...
showing. Yeah. He's like, I just want to go to bed.
Yeah, I mean, Leo called his dad, to come pick him up because he just wanted to go to sleep so bad, and now we have Dex threatening to call his custody battle
that's not gonna be good.
Never good. But I love that knight in shining armor Steve Peck,
love him,
is like, hey, you don't have to do this alone. I want to be there, like, I'm down, I want to be with you. Leo comes with you, so I want to be part of Leo's life.
I want you and everything that comes with you.
Yeah.
Aww.
But then he does something kind of shady, and he makes that phone call to whoever.
Investigation on Dexter. I mean, being a good boyfriend, yes. Being an overprotective boyfriend, maybe.
Breaking the law, definitely. Because you can't just have someone run background checks like through the police system for no reason. Trust me, my friend works for the CHP, and I've asked her to do it for me, and she's like, I can get fired for this.
But maybe Steve is high enough.
I mean, he's definitely, that family is high enough to get away with whatever they want.
Absolutely. He has connections. Why not use them?
Yeah, but like,
I mean, I just don't mind Steve using his power for that. If it's for Tracy's benefit, morality-wise, it might not be the best. But I don't trust Dexter Slade either. So, yeah, you know what? I want to find out more about this Dexter guy.
Yeah, I mean, we don't really know much about him, but I just kind of want to know. We know that Steve works in the gang department, so his shadiness scares me in that way of like, are you like going to go get someone to go over and threaten him, go beat him up? Like, what are you willing to, what lengths are you willing to go to for this right now?
Yeah. But what are we going to find out about Dexter first?
Well, I mean, we know he doesn't have a job, so, there's that.
Yeah, because Tracy was like, how can someone who not have a job get full custody?
Yeah, like all of a sudden he's the better parent
the better guy.
Because, she's probably paying him alimony too. So,
yeah. I mean, it's a catch-22.
It really is, but I don't know what Steve exactly is up to, but I got my eye on him because...
Don't trust him.
Don't trust him.
I mean, don't trust Dexter either, but we shall see.
Yeah, but you know what you can trust, Marissa?
What?
Maria Menounos' new book, The Every Girl's Guide to Diet and Fitness.
That was great.
Thank you. I trust it. It's everything you need to know to get that summer bod ready. We are in the height of summer, and ladies and gentlemen, because guys can learn stuff from this too.
Yep.
Don't be fooled by the title. There's recipes, there's workout ideas, there's nutrition guides, and plenty of pictures. So make sure you guys go interviews. Make sure you guys go buy this book. It will be your Bible for the summer and
for life.
For everything. And I can't say enough good things about this, and I'm totally not biased at all, but it's just
It's an amazing
read.
easy read. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
You will fly through this. I mean, there's tons of pictures, so don't if book sizes scare you, don't be scared because there's lots of pictures in here. So make sure you go check that out and tweet Maria and let her know that you love her book because we love it and we know that you'll love it and you can trust us because we watch Rookie Blue.
Exactly.
So
couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah. I have an itch on my nose. I'm not picking it. I swear it just itches right there.
Okay, so I think that was it for episode 1.
Yeah, I think that was it for episode 1. So we can get into episode 2, where we have Shaw, who's going to be the acting staff sergeant.
Yeah, what happened to Best?
At the end of
because Jarvis.
Jarvis made him hand over his badge. So
Dang.
I don't know if that's the end of Best or
I sure hope not.
Well, because I don't know if that was their way of kind of like getting to write him out of it or if he's going to come back and fight it. I mean, he's already someone who we don't see all the time.
But he's there, at parade every single episode.
At parade every episode. And now you have Shaw kind of being the leader, and you know it's so. And Shaw doesn't want the job at first. He's like, I'm not a white shirt. Like I get along with everyone.
Yeah,
I like hanging out.
It's kind of hard to have someone who you see as more of a friend and confidant being your authoritative, leader instead of. So it's going to be hard to get people's respect in that way because we just said it, like Shaw loves everyone. He's the nicest, friendliest guy, and then to have him put him in a leadership role, that's going to be hard for anyone to really give him the respect that he should get.
Yeah, because you see him at the first parade, like he's kind of even a little hesitant. He's like, so your Simon's on the board. Yeah, that's it. Okay. And, everyone's hooting and hollering and clapping for him and stuff. So it'll be interesting to see how people take direction from him.
Yeah.
I think that, he will step up and do a great job. But then I thought he would be more hesitant to take it because, he's friends with Best. And but maybe he doesn't know why Best did what he did because of the Inspector Jarvis guy.
Right. But we know that he's the best guy for the job, so might as well.
Out of everyone there, he's the only one who could do it. We also have Sam, who thinks that Andy should go be the new rookie's TO.
TO.
I know that they're not rookies anymore, but I still feel like she's too close to being a rookie.
Yeah, because
they all still make those rookie mistakes. So
yes, exactly.
You shouldn't be teaching anyone else what to do.
Well, if you think about it, she was a rookie cop. Now she's a rookie TO. So rookie still applies to everybody's lives.
I think that the TOs should have to go through a training to be a TO.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, you can't. I'm not sure how the police force works, but they should be able to go through training sessions and be like, all right, you're certified to be a training officer, and now you can take on that responsibility.
Yeah, so the new rookie is Officer Duncan Moore, who from the moment you meet this guy, you're just like, oh, you poor thing. You poor, poor thing.
Yeah.
He's got his go bag all over the floor. He's a mess. He's a mess. You can tell he's a rookie. So him and Andy, are doing their thing. Andy's like, oh, well, it's my first time. I'm a rookie too. And, they're really connecting. And she's like, but he's very ambitious is the word we're going to use for him because, he's very gung-ho and he's going through all these different scenarios. She's like, you guys pointing a gun at you. What do? I shoot him.
I shoot him.
I shoot him dead. And you're like, no.
Call me.
Call me. It's like anything you see or is happening, call me.
Just call your training officer first. I thought it was interesting how Andy was like, I'm a rookie too. I don't think you should tell that to your rookie. I mean, because you say that right from the get-go, your rookie's not going to take you seriously. Be like, hey, she's learning too. I don't, why should I have that, leadership or that respect for her position if she's still a rookie too? I mean, I get Andy wanted to connect in that way and just be open about it, but I wouldn't say that to your training.
Yeah, because I think back when Andy or anytime we saw Shaw, training anyone, he was never trying to be their friend, really. It sort of would happen more naturally. And I think that since this is Andy's first time, you know, doing it, you know, she's going to learn by trial and error just like everyone else. So,
Yeah.
I mean, by the end, she started getting it together, but, you know.
She definitely made some mistakes throughout the...
So they respond to a B&E at a pawn shop. And when they get in there, they find a homeless man chilling on the ground.
Joseph Busan?
Yeah, which I knew from the start that it was a fake name. I didn't know who it would turn out to be, but I was like, that just doesn't sound like a real name.
Yeah.
Come on, guys.
Especially spurting off haikus before that.
Yeah, you know,
Like,
it's like,
this guy is not real.
yeah, he is not real. So Duncan wants to, you know, he's like, I mean, regardless of if he's actually the guy who broke in or not, you know, this is still trespassing. We should still book him. And he's like, I mean, just check the guy. If he doesn't have anything, send him on his way. She goes snooping around the place and finds the owner tied up in the back, dead.
Yeah.
And then now all of a sudden it's a murder scene.
A homicide.
It's a homicide. And they just let like one of their best lead
victims
walk out, and he's a homeless man. So how are we gonna find him?
Yep.
Andy,
I would have still booked him too. The homeless guy,
or at least you throw him in the drunk tank for a little bit. You know, let him sleep it off, kind of deal. Like,
yeah.
And then bonus, he's homeless. He gets somewhere warm to like sleep off this buzz he's got going for, you know, the day or whatever.
Yeah.
It's a win-win. So next they have to go find the homeless man because, you know, Tracy's like, I can't believe you let him go. Tracy's trying to have an 8-hour day. They let him go. So they go and they find him. They take him back to the precinct and they get his fingerprints, and then they have to go over to the owner's house to notify his wife that he's dead. This is where you just... Duncan.
Goodness.
First, like...
Such a rookie.
I didn't know what he threw in his mouth before he went in until he was like, I got a peanut stuck in my throat. And I'm like, I'm firing up. Who takes peanuts to fire up?
Fuel up. I don't know.
Yeah,
but I think it was amazing how they really differentiated the rookie from Andy.
Yeah.
Like, he is definitely a rookie. He's making all the most stupid mistakes that you could possibly. Having your cell phone go off, coughing up a storm, saying bad information in the wrong way. I mean, definitely all these rookie mistakes just to like really hit it over our heads. He's definitely a rookie.
Yeah, if you were Andy, would you have let him deliver that death notification?
No, I would have been go back to the car, get over yourself, calm down, don't stop coughing, and then when you're done, you can come in or something.
Yeah, I think that for his first day, and since Andy didn't read his file or anything about, you know, what he was like at the academy, you know, for him to be like, oh, we did 1 million of these test things at the academy and I blew through them, I would have been like, I don't know that for a fact. You could be making this information up to me right now. Like, there's I can't contradict you. So for the time being, today, you're going to watch me and how I do everything. Tomorrow, I'll start letting you do stuff.
Exactly. I think Andy let him have too much freedom as a rookie on his first day. I mean, and she was just in that position a couple years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, she should have known that because in her first episode, she was like, we learned this and this at the academy. And then she's clearly learned that the academy doesn't teach you everything. And then when he's saying the same lines to her, I learned this at the academy, that doesn't mean jack squat. Especially out on the field. Yeah,
especially out on the field. So, you know, the wife kicks them out and they go back to the precinct where Shaw is like, I've already got a call from her. She's going to file a complaint. P.S. You know that is Alonzo Santana's stepson that you're training, who is the commissioner of the force.
Nope.
So Andy's like, why didn't you tell me? He's like, that's why I was trying to get you to not volunteer yourself. Like, I wanted him to sit at the desk so I could assess him and see where he would fit, who would be a good TO for him. And, you know, and
you jumped at it.
You jumped at it.
Like a rookie would.
Yeah. So now you got to deal with it because, you know, he's yours. Yeah. And Oliver gives her really good advice. He's like, hey, remember how, you know, the saying, like, slow down, we're in a rush. He's like, that's why I used to chew gum. take
Get
a
a
bite of a
sandwich.
sandwich, like anything, just to slow down, to like give you a second to absorb what's happening, what's going on.
I thought that was really smart.
That's really smart.
Really wise.
It was very wise, and that's why Oliver is going to be great at this job. Mm-hmm. Even though we're sad the best might
not be
there anymore. Not the best wasn't good,
but he
either.
can still, even though he's in that high position now, he can still give his word of wisdom to anyone who needs it.
Yeah, he's kind of there as like a guidance counselor. He's like, come here, my little children. He also tells them they need to go back to the house and apologize to the wife because she wants an apology in person. Of course, Duncan, again, talks Andy into letting him go in.
Well, he has to redeem himself, so that I could let him do. I was like, yeah, because he's the one that messed it up in the beginning.
I just would have been so nervous that he was going to screw it up again. I wouldn't have been able to sit in the car. I would have been like...
I was like, what possible things could happen now to ruin this?
Yeah. Oh, he goes inside and wife's not home, but hey, there's the suspect right there.
It was amazing how he couldn't pick that up. I'm like, he's been talking to him for a good minute and a half, and he couldn't pick up any of the weird signs that dude was giving off. Dude, he's obviously suspicious.
Yeah, my favorite was when he goes, oh, I'm starting to put this together now. You're the one who killed him. And it's like, oh,
what?
Round of applause.
We got that
The
2 minutes ago. Wow. It's sad that we got it before the rookie did.
Yeah, he's like, oh, wait a minute. I get it now. Like, you're the guy. And so they, kind of, he almost has the guy cuffed because he's got him, one hand back there. And then as soon as, he just ran his mouth a little too much.
Yeah.
And then that's when the guy freaks out. And there's a thing full of swords just right there in the house. And
all the random artifacts over there.
Yeah, he pulls a sword out, and then, Duncan pulls his gun out, and we already know Duncan is a shoot first, ask questions later kind of cop.
Yeah.
So, they're in this standoff. Luckily, Andy hears over the radio, that, they know exactly who they're looking for, the kind of car he's driving. She sees the car in the driveway and immediately knows that something's up and goes inside. And I love that she immediately told Duncan to put his gun down because she heard what he said earlier.
Yeah.
And she said, put it down now. Put it in your holster. I got this. And, she just takes out her gum, pops a piece in, and just like, so let's talk.
Yeah, because even before that, when they were in the car, she was like, you're not even going to try to talk the victim down or the suspect down. And then we saw that in this situation, she was going to talk to him because Andy's known for talking people out of messy situations.
Yep, and she does a great job. She sends Duncan over to find the ring, because this guy sold his dad's 1918 something ring, hockey ring, pawned it for $100, and the owner was selling it. The bids were up to $18,000 or
a lot,
$10,000.
But he was selling it for $10,000. But people were buying it for more.
Yeah, people were buying it for more. So, I mean, this guy, it hadn't been 30 days yet. His dad started crying about it when he found out. He's like, I just want to get this ring back from my dad. Duncan's able to find it in the house, and Andy kind of trades him, I'm going to give you the ring, but I also have to arrest you.
Turn you in.
Yeah, and, it's in that moment that Duncan sees that, talking can actually work and be a good thing. And so that's how he learned his lesson.
Yeah, and the poor owner got he died.
But he didn't sound like a very good person.
No, he didn't.
He screwed over a lot of people.
But in fairness, he did the guy Ray, I think his name. Yeah, Ray was the one who pawned the ring. I mean, and if you're the pawn owner, you do have that right to sell stuff.
Yeah, that's
if it's worth its value that it was, that's your right.
Yeah. So, I mean, they get back to the precinct later, and Andy's just, tells them, I'm not sure if I'm going to write you up. It depends on how much you annoy me, which is her getting back to fun. She's like, tomorrow will be better. And he even tells, the guys on their way out, he's like, after he takes another selfie with them, This guy's like obsessed with taking pictures with people.
Such a 20-year-old.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's like the self-awareness of the demographic that's probably watching this show that would probably do that. Like a rookie now would completely do that.
Yeah.
A rookie 4 years ago, maybe not. The times change a lot.
Yeah, I was like, I couldn't imagine Andy on her first day going up to like Shaw and be like, "Hey, can you take a picture? Can I take a picture of getting into the cruiser?" Like, could you imagine those guys? Like, Shaw would have been like, "No, get your butt in the car. Like, let's go."
Yeah.
So I love that they kind of incorporated that. But I did kind of feel bad for Duncan because, you know, not that everyone was trying to avoid him, but you know, he's like, "Hey, let's go grab a drink," and everyone's like, "No, I'm good."
Yeah.
And
the poor rookie who's trying to make friends but didn't yet.
Yeah, hasn't yet. And then his stepdad comes into the locker room and is like, "How was your day?" And you can just tell that they clearly have a past. Mm-hmm. And some tension there. So it'll be interesting to see how that pans out and, you know, what kind of comes from that.
Yeah.
And then, you know, we have Tracy who was Sam. Let's talk about Sam and his sister.
Yes.
So we find out.
This was surprising, I will say.
Yes. Sam's dad was maybe not that great of a person.
No.
And Sam has had a hard time dealing with that and getting over it. He just is angry about it. His sister has learned to forgive and forget.
And tolerate.
What has happened to Mom? Was my question.
I don't know. I thought that too because, all right. So we saw all the first episodes and that build up. Hey, I haven't talked to him, my brother, in 2 years. I don't know him. You know, we're not brother and sister. And then we didn't even see any interaction in the first episode. I was like, can we see at least one scene of them? Like, what are you doing here? You know, some kind of rift that's going on to establish that they don't have the best relationship. And then we see in the second episode, their first scene actually together. Like, Sam wakes up and he's all happy. And she's like, yeah, okay, whatever. I'm like, what's their relationship like? Are they really fighting right now? Because they seem okay with each other.
I feel like they are fighting, but because of the circumstances, they were able to forget that they were fighting for that moment because, you know, she came here, he's in the hospital, and they're trying to play nice. Because then, I mean, by the end of it, it takes a turn where, you know,
then we saw it.
Sam calls her by, you know, her pet name, her little nickname that he had, and she's like, "Don't call me that." And he's like, "I always call you that." And she's like, "We're not, only family can call me that," or something along those lines.
Knock, knock.
Yeah, knock, knock. Who's there? And then no
one.
I was like, ooh, burn.
Yeah, she just walks
got him, girl.
That was like the worst.
It's like she's walking out of his life again.
And again. But okay, so I was just questioning the relationship. And we know that Sam, he's a very mysterious guy. And we don't know, you know, what's going on in his mind. And they clearly made that point. But then he's saying that we don't know the father. Well, we really don't know Sam either.
Yeah.
So what happened to the father? I maybe this might be a prediction. I'm thinking that maybe something happened with the parents, and like the father and Sam got into a fight, and then Sam walked away from the family, and the sister might not have known about it.
Maybe. I'm putting his dad down as a drunk, abusive person.
Yeah.
Who wasn't ever around or there for them.
Or drugging.
And when he, like... Because she said when I go visit Dad, he reads the paper. So it makes me think that he's somewhere, like, being taken care of. So maybe he's in, like, a medical center or something, a rehabilitation type of place. So maybe, like, when things got bad for him and, like, his liver started failing or something, then his dad, you know, needed them and wanted, you know, forgiveness and is sobered up and wants to make amends. And his sister was able to forgive and Sam wasn't because of the past. Because I'm assuming Sam's the older sibling, and it's usually the older sibling who has to deal with the parent more because, you know, they're older, they're trying to protect the younger sibling and shelter them from a lot of what's happening. So that's what I kind of picked up from it. And I was like, ooh, it explains why he's so dark and broody all the time and mysterious.
Kind of, but I don't think maybe it's just because we don't know enough about the situation and why Sam really is the way he is. We know that he had a broken family, but now I want to expand more on that.
Yeah. And I also want them to expand more on Tracy and her situation, because she's like all about having this 8-hour day so that she can get back to Leo and, you know, stop breaking her promises. And I mean, she accomplishes it for like that one day, but is one day enough to make up for all the others?
No, it's not. But she is making the conscious effort to constantly be there for Leo when needed. And if they are going to go through this custody battle, she has to prove that right now she's making the effort to be there for Leo whenever he needs her.
Yeah.
So she is, because she's always had that struggle with work and personal life, and now she's really focusing on her personal life.
Good for her.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I just hope that she can keep it up, because, I mean...
We're going to find more about this
we're going to find out
Slade.
more about this Dexter guy, and we're going to... It's all going to come out in the end.
Absolutely.
And then Dove and Chris and that skanky girl. I can't believe he actually called her at the end of the episode.
Yeah, he did. I mean,
I guess I can believe it, because I mean, they were clearly like flirting, but
kind of together.
If he starts bringing that one around, he needs to go like online dating or
Chris,
something.
he could do so much better.
He just brings home the worst girls.
Yeah, he could do so much better. He's such a nice guy.
Yeah, and I get it. You know, he's still like recovering from, you know, his whole like, you are not the father.
Which we totally called.
We kept screaming it to you, Chris. You weren't listening.
Every single after show.
But you know, that doesn't mean you need to go like skank yourself out. Maybe him and Nick need to go out and have like a single bros night out.
Okay, in fairness, maybe Diaz is just hitting whatever he can get. I mean, sorry to be so crude.
Look at him. He's hot. He could hit anything.
But maybe he just needs someone to, you know, stress relief.
Stress relief.
I mean, yeah, I'm sorry. Just
besides his hand.
And you just went there.
I said it. Was there anything else from this episode that you wanted to touch on?
I think that was it. I mean, I love how the second episode was the standalone kind of episode, that there's the 1 or 2 cases that we figure out, and then that's everyone's day. And, you know, I really do like those standalone episodes.
Yeah. And I think it was good to have, especially since they were doing the back-to-back thing, because the first episode was so intense and hardcore and emotional that, I mean, this one you kind of needed the comedic relief of Duncan just screwing up left and right. To kind of, you know, take your mind, like ease you back into the show a little bit, because it started off and you're like, oh my gosh,
comedy.
So,
and also Sam and Andy, they're on a friendly basis now.
Well, really by the
friendly.
end of it, you know, Sam's sister kind of tells Andy, like, you know, you never know with that one, and all of a sudden now she's like, I need time.
I have to think about this.
Yeah, I have to think about things. So now all of a sudden, maybe there's trouble in paradise. I hear Nick's still available.
He is still available.
I also hear that Marisa has some news and gossip for us.
I do.
AFTERBUZZ TV News.
All right, so Missy Peregrine secretly wed her longtime boyfriend, Zachary Levi.
I didn't even know they were dating.
Me neither.
Like, no one knew they were dating.
Me neither.
What?
That's awesome. I mean,
like, congrats, but
hot
also I
couple.
hate you, Missy, because he's so hot.
And he actually has been here in the studio.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Good for her. Okay, so, yeah, she wed her longtime boyfriend, and the newlywed both took to their Twitter accounts to announce the news. And a couple days ago, on June 9th, she wrote, "Hey, Zachary Levi. Great job at the Tonys, a real babe alert. How about we grab coffee and talk about your dreams and goals?" So that was her first text. And then the second one was from Levi. He said, "Hey, thank you. Name the time and place. I'll bring my own mug. Not my typical move, but I'm feeling like taking a chance." And this is like their way of flirtation, I guess, over Twitter. But that actually had a double meaning, because in the third one, Missy Peregrine, tweeted a picture of her new husband wearing matching Mr. and Mrs. hoodies, And the tweet said, that coffee date was unreal, at Zachary Levi. # married in Maui.
Oh my gosh, that picture.
So that was the code, let's get married.
That picture was so cute.
Loved it.
It was so cute. I don't know how they've kept this a secret from the world for so long.
I mean,
but
wow.
kudos to them and congratulations. And
so cute.
I want to go to Maui.
Same here.
Like, next time invite me.
I mean, come on, or at least tell the world.
Yeah,
They're gonna have
tell the world
amazing
so there can be
babies.
a million paparazzi around to watch that.
I mean, so good for them. Congratulations to the newlyweds.
Yeah.
I mean, great way to start your season. I mean, that's some serious promotion. I mean, I'm sure she did it out of love, but the timing was very convenient.
Yeah.
And that's it for news.
Okay. Well, then let's get into our predictions.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
So for the preview for next week, we saw that Wes is back. And we
Causing
didn't even
trouble.
say that, Chloe and Dove had that talk where Chloe was like, look, he was possessive and
Yes.
I kind of let him control me and I was not good with him.
I was not happy.
So now he's back and kind of possessive, like, you took something from me. It's like, oh, snaps. And it looks like we're having like a fight club night or something.
Yeah,
like
the angle of the room that they were standing in, it looked like a bathroom. Like, is there a fight about to be going down?
And then there's like the boxing ring where it looks like Nick's in there and then Swarrick's in there.
Fight night.
Yeah, Swarrick.
It's fight night.
Swarrick just got out of the hospital. He shouldn't be up there.
Yeah, but it's fight night.
It's fight night.
No,
but
I thought it was Nick. Nick was fighting.
Nick was there, but then
Swarrick
by
other
the end, Swarrick like fell down.
Okay.
By the end, and
That
Andy's
admits
over
too
in the
fast.
corner, so I don't know if the editing's making us think that they're fighting each other and possibly fighting over Andy.
Fighting over a girl.
Or, but
who do you
editing
think
is
would
tricky.
win? Who do you think would win?
Ooh, I mean,
I think Nick is pretty mad right now. He could win.
yeah. I was like,
Take
Nick's
that
got
fury, harness it. Take
He's
out
got that
Sam.
like military background, and he's angry. He's younger and a little quicker than Swarrick, So
Who knows?
who knows?
Yeah, I don't think Nick and Andy are over.
No.
I want to see more action between them.
Yeah, I was like, things were just getting fun with them, so I don't think it can be over yet.
Yeah, and also in another, I did have one more news, but to go off of that, you know how last year they made that.
AfterBuzz.
Yes, more news. News extended. They did have the webisodes last year.
Yeah.
Well, they're making more webisodes for this season, and all the episodes in this webisode is called Stakeout, so they're all doing a stakeout right now. And part 1 and 2, part 1 was Tracy and Diaz, and it was just Tracy talking about her concerns with Leo and the custody battle going on. And then the second part was Nick and Dove, and Dove was like, Chloe is married? I can't believe this. And, just them talking about everything that's going on. So we do have to keep up with the webisodes for this season.
I will definitely
So
have to
just
go
part 1 and 2. So next week will be part 3.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, guys, that just about ends our time with you for this week. Make
Fun.
sure you guys tweet us and check out our iTunes. Subscribe to us there. Leave us a comment on YouTube. We love to hear your theories about what you think is going to happen next. Are Andy and Nick going to get back together? Andy and Swarrick, whose team are you on?
We're back.
Yeah, we're back, and we're going to be here all season. So, Marissa,
Season 5.
where can they find you?
You can follow me on Twitter and on Instagram at Serafini TV.
You can follow me on Twitter and on Instagram at the Tiona Hobson. I actually just posted a really funny TBT photo, so go check it out. I'm
Yes, you
so
did.
proud of this one. And make sure you follow AfterBuzz TV at AfterBuzz TV. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. We will see you next week.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.